Bree from Bree Scraps, and I'm here with a process video for you today. I'm going to share my week 8 one-page layout and insert. The first thing I do when I sit down to make a layout is I head over to my OLife account. It's a website that emails you and you just reply with the events of the day. I write down the events that happened that week, some photos and memorabilia I have, and some ideas and sketches that I'll use. Here are the photos that I have. This year I'm trying a white border around my pictures. I've liked the look of that in other people's albums, so I thought I'd try it. I print at home, so I'm able to do 2 3x4s or 1 4x6 on my home printer. These are some week cards by Hello Forever. I got them at Studio Calico. They have a color on the front and then a gray on the back, so I can use it with a color or gray. I like the continuity it provides in my album, so I use them every single week. I'm also pulling out some goodies like these Studio Calico feathers. This Hambly Transparency, I believe it's Hambly. Once Upon a Time little piece that I got in a rack, and some Studio Calico cards that I'm using for my insert. This is a Becky Higgins 6x8 page protector that I got from Michaels. This is for my insert, a little sketch that I drew. I took photos at this event. Usually when I have an event like this, I will take every photo in vertical and horizontal just in case. It depends on how I want to use it in my Project Life album. So here I used all of the vertical photos and printed them to a 3x4. And this Studio Calico card, which says some people just need a, and I'm going to put good book, because this event was a reading fair that we have every year in our school district. So we always have photos of this in our Project Life album. These are Studio Calico mini alphas that I love, love, love. So I like to stock up whenever they're on sale. Usually they're available in the PL kits too. Here I realize I don't have a K, so I'm going to use an L and a V. I used these a lot for my week cards last year, so I ran out of Ks. I'm going to place these 2 cards. These are the HSN Project Life stickers. They're really great, but they're just a little bit too transparent for this card. So I used Studio Calico Vellum Alphas, and then on this library card I stamped it with my date stamper. Here I'm just journaling about the event. Usually when I journal, my rule of thumb is to use a 01 pen if I'm going to be writing a lot, so that the letters are thinner. 03 if it's about medium, and if I'm not going to write a lot, then I'll use my 05 pen. He doesn't come out too often though. Just writing the place where the event took place, and there is my insert. I'm going to pull out some things I use all the time. That's my corner chomper. I use the 1/4. There are my Project Life pens, 1, 3, and 5, but like I said, I don't use 5 very often. And Hero Arts Mid-Tone Charcoal ink. I find it goes really well with the cards that I normally use. I have to cut a border around my 4x6s because of how they print, so they're not quite a true 4x6, so I need to go pull some cards. In my Project Life album in the back, for right now, as I can fit it, I keep my slate cards. Slate is the kit that I'm choosing for this year primarily, but I also use some of the cards from my Studio Calico Project Life kit as well. Pulling out some blues and reds because on the other side of the spread for this week, it's Valentine week, so it has some light blue and red and pink. You can see it right there. So I'm trying to match them up, and also that week 8 card is orange, so I want to pull out some orange. Flipping through and kind of picking out where I'd like to put them, trying to figure out which cards will go with which photos and how I want to lay this page out. I'm going to cut this 3x4 card in half. I found there's not a lot of 4x6s in the Project Life kit, so I usually make my own with my photos to kind of make my stash go further. Here I'm using the week 8 card to make sure that this is a true 4x6 and will fit in the pocket. So I just put one on each side, and then here I'm just rounding the corners with my 1/4 corner chomper. This card I'm also going to cut in half, but I'm only going to use one side of it. I'm going to push the photo a little further to my right, and then round the corners of the photo so that I have a little space for journaling on the left side there. Still trying to decide what to put behind that tree photo and that part right there. I'm looking through my embellishments, and I find one that says nom 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 because I'm going to write about going out to dinner. You can see here I found this pattern paper from Studio Calico. It was in a 6x6 paper pad, but it has all the perfect colors. And I'm going to round the corners of that. I was going to put it in the pocket, but then I realized I kind of want the date on there. We had 2 days of pretty significant snowfall this week, so I just wanted to get my date stamp out and put the date on the week and on this card here. I run my weeks Monday through Sunday because I like having the weekends together. It's usually when we do most of our fun stuff. Here I am going to journal on the side of this photo of my boys. They went with their dad and their grandma to the Raptor Center here. So that's why I pulled out those Studio Calico feathers. And I just stamped the date on there. Make sure it's dry before you put it in. Trust me, you'll see why in a minute. Here is my embellishment storage. Of course, I have like 8,000 more things, but this is just one I have handy for Project Life. Pulling some enamel dots out for my For the Record card. Here I'm going to be journaling with my 5 pen about the snow that we had on Monday. We had 6 inches of snow, and our city was one of the highest totals of snow in the state. And then on Thursday we had 8.8 inches of snow, like in the evening and overnight. So Friday our kids did not have school again. Here I'm taking one of those bifold cards and cutting it in half, and then I'm going to round the corners there, so I just make another journaling card. I use those bifold cards a lot, mostly to cut in half or to put on one of my 4x6 pages, so I would hide or cover up the fold in it. Here I'm just journaling about our trip our trip out to dinner. My mother-in-law had a birthday, and so we went out to dinner with the family on Sunday. One of the things that I usually try to do is vary my handwriting. I have kind of like this messy cursive that I use, and also my printing. The reason why I do that is because I don't want to have to just be stuck with one kind of printing through the whole album. I just kind of try to mix it up on every single page so that it looks like I did it on purpose. On this gray card here, I'm pulling out some of the Studio Calico feathers that will kind of coordinate with the other cards that I'm using. I'm going to kind of cluster them in the corner, just putting them down now. Some of them didn't really want to stick very well, but in the end, I got them. So, and then I'm going to journal a little bit about my boys' trip and their favorite parts of going to the Raptor Center with their grandma. Apparently my little one was quite the ham. He's only 2, so he's in that wonderful stage where he likes to be the center of attention, even if there are large predatory birds and a speaker telling you all about them. So he had to leave with Dad for a little while. Just kind of rearranging them, just make sure they look good. And then I'll slip that into the page protector. I'm going to take out the white Uniball again, and on this red card, I'm writing about how we didn't have school again. This is our 6th day of no school this year, and we live in Minnesota, so this is super duper uncommon for us. We had 5 days off due to cold and 1 due to snow so far, and I feel like every week in my Project Life so far this year, I've written about how we don't have school 1 day or 2 days in a row, and it's getting a little bit tiresome, but actually March is one of our snowiest months here. This is where I warned you to make sure that your Uniball pen is dry. I smeared the bottom of that. So I'm just going to let it dry and stick it back into the page protector later. Good news, white Uniball pen does wipe off of page protectors. While I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm just kind of flipping through my little goodies, my stickers, and some of my confettis and labels and things, trying to find just some embellishments to put on. I don't really embellish a whole lot, but I do like to have a little, some of the fun stuff sometimes. Last year I did embellish much, much, much more. This year I'm kind of going with easy and done instead. I couldn't really find something. I was looking for like a snowflake or something like that. And I couldn't really find what I was looking for, but I did find this blue label sticker so I could cover up, have like kind of a glare from the computer screen. So I hid that with that blue label. I have to trim this down just a smidge to get it to fit. Of course, you guys know how that is, right? And then I think that it's pretty much finished for now. So here is the layout and here is the insert. It'll go right there, and so you can see how it'll flip. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, Bree Scraps on YouTube, and like this video. Thanks!